Okay, so what is up guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Kagan, and if you are a regular subscriber, welcome back. So today I wanted to talk to you about the Godox SL60w. This is probably, and don't quote me on this because I might be wrong, but this is probably the most popular single source COB light after the aperture 120Ds and 300Ds of the world, I suppose. And in this video, I felt like it might be redundant to make yet another review video, pretty much, because there's probably hundreds, maybe if not thousands of reviews of this light by this point. But instead of making just another review video, I wanted to help you cut through all the crap and basically make a purchase decision. So in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 reasons why you might want to buy this light right now. And after giving you those 5 reasons, I will give you 2 to 3 reasons why you may want to stop in your tracks and not buy it. You see, because that way, then you can decide for yourself if this is the light you need, if it's enough, if it's capable enough, and if it's probably the only light you're ever going to buy, honestly, if you're making videos like myself. For many people, this light is enough and maybe even more than enough. And for many other people, it just simply doesn't cut it. So let's skip all the plenty talking about what you get in the box and all the fancy specs and the numbers and the TLCIs and the CRIs, and actually talk about whether you need to buy this light or whether you need to just completely skip it. The first reason why I feel like you should definitely go out and buy this light is the fact that this light is capable, it's professional, and it's enough. And what I mean by that is it's a very, very capable light for professional shoots. I mean, 60 watts may not sound like a lot practically, but if you're using a 60 watt COB light with like a softbox or some sort of lantern or something for your professional shoots, music videos, or even just talking it for like YouTube, podcasts or whatever, it's more than enough in the sense that you're probably never going to use this light at 100% power output anyway. Like personally, when I'm making videos like this right now, I am probably using the Godox SL60w at somewhere around 70 to 75%, and that's more than enough. So as long as that's all I'm doing interviews, doing music videos, making talking head videos for YouTube and podcasts and stuff like that, I am absolutely fine with this light. And beyond that fact, the light actually comes pretty decently built for a mostly plastic light, and it gives you pretty much everything you need to get started inside of the box, aside of course some sort of modifier that you're going to use to soften the light out of this. But you do get like a reflector, and you get a remote control, and you get the power cable, and you get everything, so you can get started pretty much immediately. For my uses, and I do make some professional videos, for my uses, the Godox SL60w is enough. Now, the number 2 reason why I think this light is an absolute must-buy for pretty much every videographer, even if you can afford other lights or you have other lights in your arsenal, is the price. This light comes in at a whopping $135 right now, and I don't say whooping to mean it's a lot of money. I say it to mean how are they possibly able to sell this light at that price. Now, $135 may sound like a huge amount to invest when you're starting out or when you're new to like YouTube or making videos, but I promise you, if you buy this light, you're going to see a huge jump in the quality of your lighting, especially if you're coming from some of those cheap Amazon soft boxes with the bulbs inside of them that you have to screw on and change and all of that. This is going to give you a significantly better color accuracy, and you're going to enjoy this light a lot better. And for $135, the closest single source COB light to this one is probably the GVM 80 watt. And the GVM 80 watt in comparison to this one feels like a flimsy plastic bucket of nonsense. It's cheap. Like, I didn't even think it was possible for plastic on product around this price to feel that cheap. But when I compare it to the Godox SL60w, I would absolutely not recommend that you buy that one. So if you had around $135 to spend, or somewhere around $150 plus a few other modifiers that may be optional on different bundles on Amazon, I would advise you to go for the Godox SL60w because it's the right balance between price and the quality that you actually get in the box. And that actually ties into my number 3 reason, and that is the competition. This light is better than any other COB light at this price point that's basically competing in the exact same price range with this light. It just simply is better. It offers you more features. It offers you pretty much everything that other lights that are coming in at this price and trying to take its place are simply not offering you. So there's really no reason why you should be in the market for a COB light that's going to cost you $125 to $135 and pick anything else over this one, because this one offers you pretty much the perfect balance between the price and the quality when you compare it to the competition. The number 4 reason why I think that you should buy this light is going to have to be the durability. Now, yes, it's a completely plastic build, but the plastic material that was used in building this light is a lot different from the plastic material that they use in building other COB lights around this price point, like the GVM 80 watt, for example. This feels sturdy, this feels well thought out, this feels like they try to give you quality regardless of the fact that this is supposed to be affordable or cheap. They did such a fantastic job with the plastic that I'm pretty sure you can actually drop this a few times without doing any permanent damage, honestly. Like, I appreciate the fact that they actually put that much thought into putting out a product that would actually last you a very long time. And speaking of lasting you a very long time, I have had this light for quite a bit and it's just been going. There is no time that I have gone into the box to pull this light out and set it up and use it on a shoot and I had any issues with it. And that was not my experience with many other COB lights around this price point. You bring them out of the box and something is already shaking, something is already falling apart, something is not standing how it's supposed to be standing from the day that you bought this light. But this one, no matter how long I've had it, it has simply stood the test of time. And that also ties into my reason number 5, which is reliability and the flexibility that the remote control gives you. This light is reliable. You can count on this light to actually just work every single time you want to turn it on, and you can also count on the fact that the remote makes your life easier. So if you're somebody who is trying to adjust your shooting for your interview or whatever from your sitting position, maybe you're shooting yourself, for example, and you need to turn down your light, you don't have to constantly go to the back of the light to reach there and turn it down and look at the screen on there to be able to figure out what your lighting settings are. You can actually do that directly from the remote control that is included in the box or handed to you by this company inside of the box, which is fantastic. So now that we've spoken about all the things that this light does well, let's talk about 2 or 3 things that this light does not do very well. Number 1 is going to be high frame rate shooting. If you're planning to do any sort of shooting in 120 frames per second, for example, or 240 frames per second, this might not be the light for you. And I promise you, I say that with all the best intentions in the world. As much as I love this light, it does have its limitations. I'll basically be playing a video on the screen right now that shows you the comparison between this light and the Godox SL150 Mark II, where I'm basically doing some high frame rate shooting at like 120 frames per second, 240 frames per second, thereabouts, just to show you how incapable this light is at high refresh rates. It's simply not bright enough to handle higher shutter speeds like that, and it's going to let you down if you let it, pretty much. So there are going to be certain situations where you require a light that's a little brighter, a little more powerful, a little more expensive, and this light is simply not going to cut it in those situations. Another thing that a lot of people complain about with this light that's pretty much a weakness or a con for some people is going to have to be the fan. Now, I should point out that this is very subjective. In my case, even when the fan does kick in and you can audibly hear the fan noise, my microphone is not picking it up, so it's not a problem for me. I'm doing a video like this right now and I'm using the Godox SL60w. It's shooting me directly and the fan is going off. I can hear it, but I don't think you can hear it because of the position of my microphone, if that makes sense. And that's pretty much the case with many interview settings and many professional shoots. In fact, in some cases, you don't even need the audio for the shoot, especially if you're doing like B-roll work or you're shooting like a music video or something. The actual audio in the environment is mostly going to be scratch audio to sync later in post. It's not going to be the actual audio that you use. If that's the case, where you're actually using external audio equipment and you actually have some more professional equipment that you're using to record your audio, there's a very good chance this fan noise issue may not bother you. But then there's also the chance that it might bother you if you're somebody who, you know, has your microphone close to your light, or maybe in some cases somebody is even using just audio directly from their cameras. This light is not going to be ideal in situations like that, and you will be able to audibly tell that the fan is running. It does go off quite a bit, especially when you're running it at around 100%. But in my experience, I'm almost done shooting my videos before the fan even kicks in anyway, and when it does kick in, it's not much of a problem. And finally, this last one may be considered a con or something that's just completely irrelevant. You decide for yourself. And that is the ability to run this off a battery. This has to be plugged to a wall to get it to work at any point for any reason whatsoever. You're not going to be able to run this with a battery except you get one of those external generator type batteries off of Amazon or something like that. But there is a version of this light that does come with a battery, that is the SL60w, I believe. The con with that one is that the batteries on there are proprietary, so it's probably not wise to run with those. But as at the time of making this video, Godox has actually released the Godox ML60, which is, well, it's not exactly a successor to this light. It's a slightly better light, slightly more expensive, but it does solve many of the issues, if not all the issues that this light has, and it comes in a more compact design. So if you'd like to see the video review for that light when it finally gets here, because it's currently in transit to me, please click the subscribe button so that you can be notified when that video is posted. So those were my thoughts on the Godox SL60w. 5 reasons why you might want to buy it, and maybe 3 reasons why you might want to hesitate a little bit. In my honest opinion, I'm making this video and I have 1 unit of this light, so that should tell you everything that you need to know honestly about this light. It's a light that you should have in your arsenal, even if you can afford to buy more expensive lights or you have other COB lights. This light is always going to come in clutch for you. It's going to come in correct, and you're not going to have to feel like you need something better if all you're doing is shooting in 24 frames per second, talking at videos, interviews, stuff like that. This light is always going to be there for you. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I guess I will see you on another video that was shot by Kagan. Peace.